Hi guys, welcome back to Spice Channel TV. Thank you for always coming out here. If you're just joining us for the first time, please kindly subscribe to get notified when we post more breaking news updates. Please click on the notification bell and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. The Nigerian Senate President Godswill Akpabio has said the redesigned Naira note introduced by the former Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) Governor Godwin Emefiele prior to the last general elections was meant to disrupt the conduct of the polls. Now, speaking on the floor of the Senate on Tuesday during the screening of Olayemi Cardoso, the nominee for the position of the CBN governor, and four deputy governor nominees for the Apex Bank, Akpabio asked Olayemi if he would also meddle in politics like his predecessor. Although he did not mention the name of Emefiele, but it was so clear that he was referring to him. And yes, he said, if the CBN governor will uphold the integrity, the steadfastness to resist when politicians come to you to join the presidential race and display your posters even as a sitting CBN governor in political conventions. Will you rush to display your profile electronically at political conventions while sitting as a governor because politicians have told you that you have enough money in the CBN to do it? And don't forget the fact that the money in the CBN is not for you. Will you have the courage to resist the temptation to listen to politicians and throw your heart into the ring, or go back to your office and sit as the CBN governor? Will you rush to sabotage the election in Nigeria by going for new notes 2 days to the election, when no country in the world changes new notes within 1 year, and you do your own in 14 days or 11 to see how you can sabotage the election in Nigeria? Well, my country people, all these questions are being raised because what Nigeria experienced in the hands of Godwin Emefiele wasn't a funny experience. It wasn't funny at all. The thing touched everybody, not only the lower class, including the middle class, even the high class. The thing touched everybody because everywhere come tight. To see money safe, e come hard. E come be say na around the election corner. Emefiele come talk say, well, he no want make politicians begin buy votes. Say na why him introduce that system, that's the redesigning of the Naira notes. And Buhari come support am. The former president Muhammad Buhari supported Godwin Emefiele on his decision to print the newly redesigned Naira notes. And when Emefiele did that, Emefiele hoarded the old notes, and then we had shortage of Naira, which led to the cash scarcity. That's the Naira scarcity that Nigerians experienced early this year. And then it led to a lot of economic breakdown. In fact, it led to the death of some people because a lot of people lost their lives due to hunger, lack of access to their money for medical cares and medical attention. And you see that the politicians that Emefiele was actually aiming for, they were not even being affected. That is the major problem. The politicians, those people Emefiele was aiming at when he introduced the policy, definitely they were not affected because at the end of the day, they won the elections. And yes, Tinubu said it himself that he know that the policy by Emefiele was to hinder his chances of winning the election. But he said he will win this election, whether Emefiele like it or not. And then we were seeing some little issues of fuel scarcity and all of that. So a lot of things really happened that time. And then Emefiele was also planning to run to be the to be the president. I beg your pardon. To be the president, to an extent, we heard that Emefiele bought form, the 100 million naira form. That's the APC now. He purchased form to run for, president. And then the thing backfired against him, you know. He did not win at the primaries. And he did so while sitting as the CBN governor. So Akpabio has raised these questions so that Nigeria would not experience another Emefiele saga. Because Emefiele then in October 2022 had announced the redesign of the 200, 500 and 1,000 naira notes. He declared that the old naira note would remain a legal tender until January 31st, 2023, and this required the swapping of the old naira note with the redesigned currency before the expiration of the deadline. But then, according to Emefiele, the policy was meant to, among others, migrate the country from a cash-based to a cashless economy. The former CBN governor revealed that as at September 2022, about 2.73 trillion naira of the 3.23 trillion naira in circulation was outside of the banking system. So the currency redesign policy resulted in an unintended consequences and then a lot of hardship for Nigerians. So Emefiele gave all his reasons for the policy, which Nigerians, a lot of people had supported when Emefiele introduced this policy. But as time goes on, we started seeing that, oh, the more we look, the less we see. It wasn't what we had bargained for. It wasn't what we signed up for, because it led to cash scarcity. And then so many Nigerians were holding on, praying that soon everything would be all right. But you see, Emefiele did all these things under the directives of the former president, Muhammad Buhari. He did all these things under the directive of the former president, Muhammad Buhari. And now Emefiele is kind of bearing all the brunt for all the crimes he committed against the APC government and against some certain politicians, because certainly Emefiele posed as a threat to most politicians in Nigeria. That was during the election. So my country people, what are your thoughts on this issue? Now, the new CBN governor, Cardoso, has been warned not to try to sabotage, elections by changing naira notes, just like what his predecessor did, Godwin Emefiele, who is currently under, trials and has been charged to court on allegations of terrorism financing, corruption, abuse of office, looting, and a lot of charges labelled against him by the federal government. And Tinubu's government had set up a special investigator to investigate everything that went wrong, under the CBN at Godwin Emefiele's rule under the former president Muhammad Buhari. So guys, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comment section. Thank you.